All right, we're going live. All right, we're here. We're here. Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Look at my green shirt. I'm dressed like I'm going into Cuba. Into Cuba. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for staying with us. This is day 110 of the Lewis Schaffer Uncooked live stream, and we're gonna talk about why I'm doing it every single day and what I expect to get from this, because somebody actually questioned me about what the purpose of this live stream is. And they expressed some criticism. I don't know whether they meant it or not. They could have been having a bad day. You could express some criticism because this is what I do. And it was really good that the person expressed some criticism to me, because it made me think about why I'm doing this and what good is going to come out of this, because it looks like, I don't know, maybe is something good coming out of it. We're having about 250 to 300 people watching every stream. Okay, number one. We've got a few people helping. Kermit is helping, and Shanks is helping, and other people are helping. If you felt like I've helped and I've forgotten about you, then let me know. Claire is helping by telling me how wonderful I am all the time. I don't know whether that's help or not. But so we're going to talk about that. Why do I do these kind of things? And I'll tell you the things that I used to do in New York and in here, which were similar to this, where people thought this is not helping. That's what they would say. Everybody, let's make sure we get on Twitter. Can we go over here to the Twitter? Where is the Twitter? Whoops. The Twitter. Maybe I should turn that off. Maybe make it easier to see. Would that make it easier to see? Can you get on the Twitter? Are you on the Twitter? Alan Williams, greetings. Daz, are you on the Twitter? Joodles, Claire, Kermit, Scott, are we on the Twitter? Thank you very much for this. I'll drop my piece of paper over here. Let's get on the Twitter. Let's make sure we like this thing. Jedster. No. Okay. You're making a joke, Jedster, because I might need you to do something like that. Now, I don't think I need you to do something like that. Anyway, thank you, Jedster. People love this, Lewis. You're not polished or scripted. You're unique, and you're yourself. People who love you would watch you reading a shopping list. Unfortunately, there's not that many people who love me that they could have me reading a shopping list. Okay? And Lud says already, comes in with a Claire-like comment that this is the best show ever. Thank you very much, Lud. I'm obviously what we're doing here is, I didn't know had never done a live stream like this. Have you guys done a live stream? And I don't know. I've been watching a lot of people's live streams. Actually, I haven't. I watched a tiny little bit yesterday or today of Osmongold, and he's the one who I like the most. I just like that guy, and but he has stuff going on in the background, and I just have me. And I think if it's just going to be me, it might be. I might try to be more interesting, I would say. Vatanai says, I would say it's the second best show ever. Okay, that's what I like. I like a good sense of humor. Okay, so so that's what the reason I'm doing this show this way, with this little planning, with this little content, not dressed up. This is our set. It's not even a set. It's just the corner of my living room. Out there is Nunhead, or out everywhere is Nunhead, basically. The reason we're doing it is because this is how I actually learn how to get good at something. And unfortunately, I mean, maybe you people, it sounds horrible. I call these people you people, whatever. Maybe you people don't mind. You don't mind. Producer, could you tell me whether the screen looks as good as it's going to look, do you think? Hello?
What?
Could you tell me if the screen looks...
It looks perfect.
does it look perfect?
You're really beautiful. You look great. You sound great. You're doing really well.
There you go. My son is actually getting in on the game. Is to tell me I'm great. Maybe other people will know it.
I mean, I know that. I just don't do it.
You don't do it. Well, you know you should do it.
No, you don't deserve to feel happiness.
I don't deserve it. Why? Why is that funny? My son said I don't deserve to feel happiness. Lewis is going up against Newcastle versus Arsenal, so we're not going to have. Yeah, well, you can put that on the TV set, can't you? Put that on the TV set on the Newcastle versus Arsenal. I mean, what am I supposed to do? We supposed to delay the start of this thing until like 6:30 or 7:30? Let's take a vote. Don't go on the game, Columbus. Don't. That's what Lucy says. So Lucy's. What does that mean? Don't go on the game. Don't become. Doesn't that mean something else? What does that mean? Hello. He's not even listening to me. Anyway, Claire says hi, Lucy. So that's why this is what I have used to. I did this in New York when I did these shows. I did 6 shows, relentless shows, up till 3 o'clock in the morning, from like 8:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning, just relentless shows. And when I started, I was not a comedian, and when I ended, I was a failed comedian. And that's sort of like what's happening now. I'm a failed comedian right now. But what's going to happen, and the same thing happened when I was in London on Brewer Street. When I did those shows 3-4 nights a week, I would do Lewis Schaffer, 2 hours of just me talking to the audience. And I guarantee you, people hated it. They hated it. A lot of people hated my shows there. But some people thought, oh my God, I get what the guy's doing. I didn't know what I was doing. But people thought that I sort of understood what I was doing. And they thought, this is amazing. This is amazing. And at the end of the time that I was there from, let's say, 2010 to 2016 or something, maybe 6 straight years. It was the longest running free show. I had a lot of jokes. What does Osmongold talk about? I've only seen 2 of his. Don't ask me that question, Lucy. I don't know what he's talking about. What does he talk about? He plays videos that this is something that people do. They play other people's videos, and then they put it on hold and they talk about it, and then they play it a bit more and then they talk about it. I like Osmongold. Osmongold is a bit of a silly goober, says Blackadder. Yeah. Alan loves it when Lucy's here, as many people do. I love it because she's not a natural Lewis Schaffer fan, I would say. She's not. There's something about her that says in her mind, do not like Lewis Schaffer. So the fact that she's here is amazing. Lewis, can we do YOU''RE? Make sure when you see the word your, red flag goes up. I'm looking all right today. Maybe it's the lighting. I think the light looks good, producer. You're looking like a lefty today. Did the producer dress you? He's not a lefty. The producer. Are you a lefty? Would you call yourself a lefty, producer? He would not call himself a lefty. What makes you think he's a lefty, Ruben? Let's talk about that. D.D. Plectrum is here. Remember, D.D. from the Ramones, and Plectrum is a guitar pick. So I don't even think they use guitar picks, the Ramones. Thank you, Claire. So when I did these types of experiences where I would bury myself in the comedic art. It wasn't just comedic art, but you can do this for anything, okay? In the comedic art. While I was doing it, especially during the early days, and I would say show 110 is still the early days. You look at Joe Rogan, how smooth Joe Rogan is. Is Joe Rogan smooth? I think he's very smooth. But there were times when he was doing his Joe Rogan-y type things that weren't funny. It weren't funny. He knows who I am, Ian Edwards, and these are horrible. Because he's young, that's what you're thinking. We are all lefties when we are young. You were, I'm sure, yes. Make sure you put a little dash in there by I'm. I was a full-on, I called myself a communist back in my university days. Because basically I had no personality back then. I'm not sure I have a personality right then. Like Joe Rogan, he's grown into himself, yes. Yeah, so I was a communist. Who else was a communist? I was a communist, and you wake up one day and you realize you're not a communist. I saw a very interesting video that was sent. I don't know whether you've seen this video. It's a video of a guy explaining how the Roman empires fell because they imported too many slaves to work in Rome and to be Roman citizens, and they outnumbered the local Romans, and they built a lot of resentment. I think that's a short explanation. That's all I know about him. What do you know about him? He's into himself. Sounds like a tosser, says Lucy. That's not what Joe Rogan is all about. That's not what Joe Rogan is about. But he is. Remember, Joe Rogan, he was a relatively short guy. It's not easy to be a guy and to be short. And he did the karate thing to make himself feel like a better person. So, I don't know. I mean, he's quite, I don't know what he believes. I think I get an idea of what he believes right now, but I think he hides a lot of stuff. He hides a lot of stuff. I was a socialist when younger. I voted for Labor. I'm so embarrassed by it now. Yeah, I voted for Jimmy Carter, 1976. How about that? How about that? That was the first election I was allowed to vote. They shouldn't allow people who are 18 to vote. I was a socialist, says Ruben. Okay. So no. Well, socialism and communism, it's the same thing. It's what happened. So what this video said, maybe I should put the video up. Let me see if I can put the video up on the other site. Do you mind if I do that? Can I give it a try? Can I give it a try? Let me see if I can find it. Who sent it to me? Who sent this video to me? I watched it a couple of times. It's a two-part video. First part is by somebody who says that mass immigration causes a lot of problems. And then the second part that says that mass immigration doesn't cause any problems. But that's a lie. That's a lie. And then what we also can discuss, we could discuss the Labor Party things. Oh, here it is. Here it is right now. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Let's see if we do this here. How do we do this here? Video quality. Oh my God, now I don't know how to do this. How do we do this? How do we do this?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to copy a video to put the video in the link. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I've got it right here. Nothing's happening here.
Are you trying to paste a link into the chat?
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is copying the link. Oh, share. I'm putting it on share. I'm putting it on share. How do I put it on share? Let's see how we do it. Report, copy message. Could I copy the message? I think that's going to work. Let me try this. Don't be patient with me, people. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad. Not that they're mad at me. Not that they're mad. You're not mad. Romantis is here. This thing. Can you see this here right now? See if you can look at this video. The first half. I mean, maybe you don't have to watch it right now. You don't have to watch it right now, but that's that thing. While you're there, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you you contribute some money if you want to. I'd like to see that Roman video. Yes, it was the Roman video. And I'm speaking to Daz. So, and Romantis is here. She's a girl, I think. You can't be sure. There are people I think are girls, and they might not be girls. But that's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me. If I like their personality, it's not going to stop me. We are patient. We would love to be here otherwise. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate it. We now have 30 viewers. 30 viewers. We've lost a lot of the girl viewers, but we got new girl viewers, which is important. I always thought that girls would like me more, but girls actually like me less. Anyway, I've lost the thread. I've lost the idea of what we were talking about. What were we talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about why I'm doing this thing. Did we finish that bit? Lord Darklands is here. Appreciate that. Joe is here. Love Joe. I'm saying why I'm doing this. Something good will come of this. Or maybe something bad. Maybe I'll be arrested or something. Maybe they'll come knocking on my door. What do you think? It could happen. Maybe what you guys, we were talking about Roman slaves, because I switched the subject because I got sent a video, which I actually watched, and it was quite an interesting video. It said basically that the elite of Rome needed slaves, and they imported too many slaves, and they became richer. And the slaves who were still slaves, some of them actually eventually became richer than the middle class, quote unquote, middle class people in Rome. They took over the place, and people stopped fighting for Rome. Carrie Mack is here. Good to see you. They stopped fighting for Rome. And that's what we have here, where the elite, the socialist, communist elite, are fighting against the local people of this country by importing tons of slaves into the country. And the slaves are creating unhappiness. Now, there were two people who spoke on this stream, on this little YouTube video. One said that it reduced wages. There wasn't as much money going around because there was all these slaves who were doing stuff for nothing. Very similar to the American Civil War, if you know the American Civil War. You should have asked Newcastle and Arsenal to start around 7 p.m. for you. I'm sure they would have understood. Very funny, Lud. Okay, that's good. We've got some very funny people here. You know why people are funny? I don't know why. You're funny. You are funny because I want you to be funny in order to make the show as interesting as possible. So that was the problem with Rome, is that Rome could not keep being Rome. It couldn't keep being Rome because there were too many people who did not love Rome, and they said this is where Christianity came into strength, in Rome. All the Middle Eastern people, he used the term Middle Eastern people, but they spread Christianity to the Romans, and then boom. I mean, the truth be told, the Romans lasted for hundreds of years. I think they ended about 500 or 600 A.D. N.E.D. It is just me, or does Shabana Mahmood look like something out of a pack of cards? Okay, you might have to put a picture up like that. Did Roman slaves also receive notability BMWs? Well, according to what this guy says, I'm not a big... Do you understand? Have you seen that video, producer? Hello? Mm-hmm. Have you seen the video about Rome? I should...
Video.
I'll send you the video right now. It's not... It's a bit of a slop. It's like...
What is it about?
It's about saying why the Roman Empire fell. And they fell because slaves were brought in, extra slaves, and it brought down the living standards of the middle class.
No, that's completely wrong.
What? Okay, my son comes in and says something different to me. What do you...
First off, there's like 500 reasons why Rome fell. That's like the point of asking why did Rome fell. Second, but whatever. Second is that Rome fell because its economy was based on slavery, and conquest dried up, and it collapsed the fucking collapsed like the industry basically in farming.
Why is that?
They
Because
were reliant on slave labor.
they didn't have the people working there. They didn't have the middle class who could be soldiers.
I'm all for like talking about modern day stuff, but trying to relate that sort of thing to modern day, it's just terrible. It's just completely different world.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear what the producer is saying? Can they hear that?
Don't trouble me with swap, please.
Yeah. All right, I won't ask you this question. Anyway, it was an interesting point. It was brought up to me by someone, so I found it very interesting. But it also is very similar to what happened in America in the Civil War, where the South had slaves and the North said, we're going to get rid of your slaves, and it killed their economy. Hey, I wanted to put my boot through the telly yesterday, but thanks for asking, says Joodles. I'm seeking solace in the Ryder Cup. Okay, we're not going to discuss the Ryder Cup. I'm not interested in golf. Nothing personal. I mean, it's a good game if you're playing it. If you have to walk across a golf course, it gives you something to do when you're walking across a golf course. Jim Johnson, you can't hear that. He says Jim Johnson, who lives out there in Dallas, right? That's where you live, or Fort Worth, or up there. Don't you live in North Texas? Good to see you again. It's really great to see you. Golf is really great if you have to walk across a golf course, and it gives you something to do. Hit the ball into that hole. Hit the ball into the next hole. That's something to do. Okay, well, Jim Johnson's been away for a while, dealing with a death in the family. I hope you're doing all right, Jim Johnson. Yes, he's from Fort Worth. How great am I? I remember that, so maybe my mind isn't collapsing as I thought it was. My team sacked their manager, laugh out loud. But I can see that fixing our problems on the pitch. Who is your team? Kerry Macca. Tell us who your team is. I watched the game last night. I hung out with Paul, Chinese Elvis. We went to the pub in Broccoli. What was it called? It wasn't called the Broccoli Jack, but it was called something. Graham Potter. Is that guy still alive? Graham Potter. Americans ain't very good at losing. No, they want to win, because especially when there's so much money in it. Maybe that's why Americans win. West Ham United is that the team. Well, Crystal Palace beat you last week. My team beat you last week. I saw that game. Or did I see that game? I don't remember if I saw that game. Oh, Nuno Espirito Santos is back. Do you remember that guy? He was really good for a little bit. Was he good for the entire time he was here? Every manager gets fired. Every manager gets fired. I don't know how they can even be upset that they get fired. But maybe they don't anymore. They know they're going to get fired. They got hired. We're going to fire you. We're going to fire you. Unless, maybe you have to kill the guy's horse in order to not get fired. Or maybe it's the other way around. Doing great, but a lot of administrative stuff around my cousin's passing. She was the last of her extended family. Well, that is sad. That is really, really sad. Golf gives you something to do while you're walking across a golf course, says Alan Williams. That's actually true. I think that's pretty funny. It gives you something to do while you're walking across a golf course. I'm going to write that down. Can we write that down? Nuno is better than Big Sam Carey. I like Big Sam, though. He was spotted at OT with Fergie last week, and I nearly at OT. What is OT? I'm writing that down, what I said before, which is golf gives you something to do if you're walking across a golf course. There we go. Old Trafford, OT. Did you know that? Did you people know that? Ruben says Old Trafford. Okay, OT. This is why we love Lewis. Why? Because I don't know what OT means. Lewis, you said it. No, you said it. You said it, Alan Williams, because Ruben said it. He said Old Trafford. He said Old Trafford. I mean, you feel bad for the guy because the guy was such a top dog, and now he's not the top dog. And nobody thinks I can't manage. Nobody thinks that. Write it down and never look at it again. That's what I'm going to do, Kermit. I wrote it down here, and I'm going to never look at it again. But it's quite possible that when I go back to doing stand-up, if I do stand-up, then I'll have it right at the top of my head. It'll be here because I will have said it. I love Bo and Luke Duke and Daisy, the Dukes of Hazzard. Never saw it. It was one of those programs that came out in the 1980s. So we've hit the two main issues of this show, which is one, why I'm doing it. I'm doing it until it becomes brilliant. It's very similar to, I think I said this yesterday, with Pete Townsend. A lot of the great musicians, they'll sit there and they'll play the same song over. I think Jimi Hendrix was like this. He played the same song over and over and over again. It didn't just pop into his head. He played it. Daz says golf is a good walk, spoiled. So I think the thing that I said, I know that that's what has been said. Okay, I'm just hoping that Nuno could do something with the team, because we are really crap. Defense is terrible, and we are letting corners in. Yeah, well, that's a sign. That's a sign you're going down when you let the corners in. You can't let the corners get in. You can't give away the corners. I remember with Crystal Palace, they were like horrible for a while with the corners, and then they became amazing. Football is one of the best sports ever. Can you get a speech prompter to help you remember the jokes while you're doing stand-up? No, because it's not in any set, because my act is not in any set order. I remember that's what they said to me. You gotta say the jokes as written in the proper order. And I completely forget about that. But I appreciate you asking that, Ruben. No, you can't write. I mean, some people do write down the jokes. And how do they seem? They seem like they're reading a joke list. With me, I am looking at the audience and I'm just reminded of stuff to say. And some stuff comes out new and fresh. And after a while, it all sounds new. It all sounds fresh. And a lot of it is new and it is fresh. And that's what I'm saying. Johnny Solstice is somebody new here in the future. Everyone will get 15 minutes of privacy. I have not heard that. Johnny Solstice, where are you from? Have you been here before? Are you fat, Johnny Solstice? Please answer the question. Johnny Solstice. Or are you somebody else? But in the future, everyone will get 15 minutes of privacy. That's a play on the other thing. Who was the one who said everyone will get 15 minutes of fame? Was that an Andy Warhol thing? I think that's an Andy Warhol thing. Everyone will get 15 minutes of fame. Who said that? Everyone will get their 15 minutes of fame. Andy Warhol said that. He was quoted in Time magazine. In the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. The phenomenon is often used in reference. This is in that horrible Wikipedia. He said that. It was quoted. The phenomenon is often used in reference to figures in the entertainment industry, other areas of popular culture, such as television, reality television, and YouTube. An older version of the same concept is in English is the expression 9 days wonder. 9 days wonder. I've never heard of that phrase. 15 minutes of fame was used by Alphonse Daudet in the article Villemasson, first published in 1879. The brave garçon honteux pour un escrivain et 15 lignes le quartier de célébrité. That's sort of the same thing. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But that's the quote that's used. Where's my 15 minutes of fame? I don't want to have any fame. And don't, please. What happened to Cher Lloyd? What happened to Cher Lloyd? Leeds' real name is John Soltis. Soltis. Oh, so you changed it to make it so. There you go. That's a little personal, but thank you. We got lots of people coming in from Leeds. I love Leeds. I performed in Leeds many times. Not many, but a few. I like Leeds. I hope Leeds stays a strong city. I know some comedians use the tree format. Is that similar to what I have, which is not the tree format? It's the what is that called? I forgot what that's called. Where you take a branch and it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. I've actually used that many, many times, but just to remember the jokes or to see what jokes I had. Joodles, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, please do more. Please, this is what Joodles says. He's making fun of me. She's making fun of me. You can't talk proper English. Please don't try French. I was reading it quite fast. Did it sound like I knew what I was talking about, Ruben? One hit wonder, Chesney Hawks. Laugh out loud. One and only hit. How many people have no hits? No hits. That's the question. Lots of people have no hits. Yet people are complaining they had one hit. So most people have had no hits. That was the greatest French accent ever. Well, thank you very much. I thought it was an English accent. Shannon Matthews was famous for way more than 15 minutes. She's the one who put her kid in underneath the bed. And they really killed her because she was like, they told her not to leave her room for a couple of weeks or months. But somebody else killed their baby, let their baby die. And they're like victims, innocent people collecting tons of money. Right. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Her mom, Karen, yeah. She wanted a little bit of it. Those are when there was working class in this country. Working class. But what about the people who weren't working class? The people who might have been doctors and they got away with it, whatever they did. I'm not saying they killed their kid, but whatever they did. She was also the auntie of that lad that died in Tenerife, Alan. Who is that? The anti. Maybe you can explain that. Anyway, so DD Plectum is here. We're up to 31 viewers. So that's really, really good. 31 viewers. 15 minutes of fame. So there was additional people who said 15 minutes of fame before even Andy Warhol said it. John Langer suggests that 15 minutes of fame is an enduring concept because it permits everyday activities to become great effects. Says tabloid journalism and paparazzi have accelerated this trend, turning what may have been isolated coverage into continuous media coverage even after the initial reason for the media interest has passed. That is not true. That just shows this is a really old article. Let me see when that reference comes from. When does it come? 1998, exactly. They haven't updated this Wikipedia thing. The truth is, if people don't want to read it, no one's going to write an article about it, and no one's going to look at the article. No one's going to write an article about it. Yeah, Claire gets what I mean. Claire gets what I mean. If the judge had jailed Sally Slater for attacking the guy with the machete, Donna, he'd still be alive. I don't know what this is in reference to, but I can imagine what it's in reference to. I did, yes. Took me to Twitter. And then I liked the post, didn't subscribe. As nigh on 30 pounds. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. I was watching a show called Good Night, Sweetheart, and I laughed so hard, but also realized that humor like that wouldn't get on TV now. Yeah, probably it wouldn't. Well, because it wouldn't. We live in a police state in this country, and Ofcom and other regulators, and the labor government. So, good night, sweetheart. I was sent a little video of someone from Catchphrase where it looked like something I think it looked like something bad was happening on the screen. And the guy who was asked the question, he didn't want to say what it was. He didn't want to say. He didn't want to say. Claire says the New World Order is killing fun and humor. Well, public fun and humor, we're having a good time. We have a good time laughing at those people. Yeah, basically they are killing. They are killing. Sorry, Lewis, I was referring to the link you put up earlier. Okay. You didn't subscribe. Okay. You didn't subscribe. The Tosser Snake Charmer. Yes, that one exactly. I saw it. I was sent. That's a very nice person here. Sent it to me. If you want to send me stuff, you can go to Twitter. Can you friend me on Twitter? I lose a lot of people on Twitter because I post pictures of red meat and eggs every single day. And I don't think people like that. And I'm constantly told, don't post pictures. I just want people to think of red meat, raw red meat. So the next time, maybe I could become famous on that, possibly. I doubt it, but maybe. I don't want to become famous on that, but maybe the next time somebody says I eat raw meat, they say, isn't that what Lewis Schaffer does? How about that? Yeah, so did you see that, Joodles? Did you see the Tosser Snake Charmer catchphrase flip? I just realized that this show is actually the closest I've ever been to Fabe. Yeah, I could see that happening. Well, you're famous in Joodle's eyes, and Lucy likes you, and Joe. So yeah, you could become quite famous. You could be, when we have our meeting, whatever we have. Are we going to have our meeting? Look at my haircut. I'm not sure it's as good as it could be. You could be there, and we could say, oh, it's Alan Williams. D.D. Plectrum says, I love red meat and eggs. There you go. Every time you eat red meat and eggs, think, you know what? Lewis Schaffer loves it too. I don't really love it. I think it's the healthiest food. I prefer a pasta, a macaroni and cheese. That's what I would like, or lasagna, or I was talking to my son the other day, chicken fricassee. Those are things that I love. Kermit met Chesney Hawks. Who is Chesney Hawks? I'm going to have to look that up, who Chesney Hawks is. You don't mind if I'm taking a minute to look up Chesney Hawks. I'm not stopping you from looking up people. He's a singer, okay? Oh, look at the look. Oh, yes. He's going on tour. Chesney Hawks. He was born, he's 14 years younger than I am. The one and the only. He was on the singles charts. Featured in Doc Holliday. Was born in Windsor in Berkshire. He was named after the singer and comedian Chesney Allen. I think Chesney's kind of like a girl's name, but maybe not. His father was singer Chip Hawks of the 1960s band the Tremolos, which was a famous band. The Tremolos. I don't know what song they sang, but they were like 1963 or 5 or something. His mother was a former actress. See, he comes from this kind of stock. I was talking to someone about Roy Walker, who was the catchphrase guy, and I was friends with his son, Mark Walker, who was a good guy. He was a good guy. That's the thing that successful people have in common. They're good guys. They don't speak ill about anybody. They don't speak ill. So he began at 19. He was in this. Let's see what the discography was. He had a hit song, 1991. How old was he in 1991? He would have been, he was born in 1971. He was 20 years old. He was so young. He had one hit song. That's so depressing, really. Oh, maybe not. The singles. He had the one and the only. He was number 1 in 1991. That's about it. He was number 74 in 2002. And then there you go. So we all can't be super famous. I mean, that's what I feel like. I've let down the side there. I let down the side. He's 54 years old right now. He's got 2 kids. Wait, I think he's got 1 kid. Casey Hawks. He looks like he's an Instagram star. You can tell what he is. He only has 1,500 followers. Casey Hawks. He's a good-looking kid. Where is he from? Is he English? He's holding a basketball. Maybe he was down there in Texas. Who's heard of this guy? I think he lives in, he's 17 years old. How many kids? Chesney Hawks. Keeley Hawks. He's got a lot of people who've been, whatchamacallit, who've been, you don't know how people can become super successful at other things. They're making social media so seriously. No fun and humor at all, says Daz. First time in history where the rich and the middle class have met the poor and working class and don't think the middle class, and I don't think the middle class like it. The first time in history where the rich and the middle class have met the poor and the working class, and I don't think the middle class like it. Why would anybody want to meet poor people? I mean, let's be honest. You know, I'm not saying you're bad people, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. MC Scott loves Roy Walker. Okay, well, that's great. Roy was great. And Mark is a great guy, too. Very good guy. I don't think Chesney Hawks made more than 1 song. How can you have a tour with just 1 song? Because you know what it is? You got a warm feeling for the guy. I had like 1 joke, and I had a tour. My princess joke. People didn't even know it. He was good at catchphrase, yes. He'd be so reluctant to say a contestant was wrong. He'd say, sorry, it's not right. Yeah, I guess I never saw the show, but it reminds me of these horrible game shows we had in America. The American ones were better because there was more money involved. Removed last message for spelling mistakes, laugh out loud. I've never, ever met celebrities from Northern Ireland. Nobody worth talking about. Mind you, it's a small country. Well, what about Georgie Best? Isn't he from up there? That's 2. Who else is from there? What about Van Morrison? He's from up there. Should we ask what the princess joke is? No, you can Google what the princess joke is. Stephen Sondheim said Send in the Clouds was his medley of hits. Very fun, but he had other songs. My mother loves Stephen Sondheim. I'm going to check to see what Stephen Sondheim is. Because if I ask, can we check what hit Stephen Sondheim is, you're not going to look. Stephen Sondheim hits. Greatest hits. Let's see what the greatest hits are. Send in the Clowns. You know what? Maybe he didn't have any hits. He was the lyricist from West Side Story. Company. My mother loved Company. Company. That's right. What is the song from Company? Let's play the song from Company. We've got to be careful here. Company. What is the hit song from Company? Company. Let's see what the song is. Company. YouTube. I got to be careful. I've got to be careful. I've got to be careful. That was a good time for American music on Broadway. Where is Company? It's not mentioned here. You'll have to look it up yourself. There's that song. I want to find that song. I don't care. I want to find that song. Company Sondheim song. Let's see if we can find it. Oh my God, it's all those people who are like in musicals there. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of the musical. I mean, I know people in the music. Maybe I should be a big fan. It's just that they're not comedians. Though some of them have way more talent than I have. Let's see if I can find what the song is. Are you paying attention, people? I can't even see. I'm just talking to my computer screen. I can't find it here. I think, was he gay? I'm not saying he was gay. I don't know if he was gay. Okay, let's get back on track, everybody. Let's get back on track. Losing My Mind, the Pet Shop Boys had a hit with had a hit with that with Liza Minnelli, says Lucy. What did we get there? We jumped ahead. Officer Krupke from West Side Story was so good, Sondheim. Yeah, he said he had all those hits from West Side Story. You could drive a person crazy. Lucy liked that. Yes, he was gay. Okay, he was gay. Nothing wrong with being gay. What happens if you found out that Lewis Schaffer was gay? What would happen? I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I don't know. Imagine if you found that out. I mean, what would all the girls think? What would you think? Would you still like me? Not would you still like me? Would you be like surprised? I told a girl that I was gay yesterday. I don't know. Claire says I would still do you. You got to get love wherever you can find it. Thank you, Claire. You always admit you're gay, just not in a gay way. That is actually very funny. Scott, medical cannabis guy. I do tell people I'm gay because it doesn't really matter to me that much. I wish I was gay. Absolutely nothing would happen if you found out you were gay. In fact, it would probably explain things. Yeah, would you still find me attractive, Joodles? Possibly. Maybe not. Let's talk about that. Doesn't matter. My Roses Left Me and Mulligan and O'Hare. It's a one-song wonder. He's not I don't know who is that. He's not. Sondheim was not. You can't become that famous. Sondheim. He did Follies. These are great big, my mother loved these things. I forgot what the song is, but the song from Company was like, I'm afraid to find it. Lucy, I really like finishing The Hat from Sunday in the Park with George. That's his later work. I'm going to find out what this thing is. Okay. So that's good. I'm going to write that down. I tell people I'm gay, but not in a gay way. I mean, I'm against it, really. I've lost jobs because people think I'm anti-gay. I mean, ridiculousness. Company. I'm looking on my phone. I'm going to plug my earphones in. Please. I'm going to plug my earphones in. I'm going to plug it in. You guys are being very good to me today. I mean, I had a bit of a crisis yesterday because I thought you did. Anyway, we should have Stars on a Road in Nuthead, maybe. Well, who else besides me? Who else? Company, the musical. Let's see, maybe we'll see if this is the song. With the New York Philharmonic. I'm not going to be able to find it in here. By side. Yeah. Okay. I mean, these are good songs. There we go. I can't find it, so we're going to have to pass on it. We'll get back. Let's get back. I've been sitting there with silence. People are, I mean, maybe I can't have any song. Mandy Potemkin. You love that guy. I love that guy too. They're all Jews. They're all Jews. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. Scan the foregoing comments. Sorry, I missed your French accent. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was reading from Wikipedia. I was reading. There was a lot of big words in there that I had never seen before. You probably would have described it as a French accent. Marianne, a French accent, a French rather than a French accent. Is that what you're saying, Joodles? Okay. So there we go. I really like finishing. These are, let me get back on track. See, this is how I lose everything because I forget where I am. I forget where I am. And there was a moment of interesting thing. We could probably cut that out where I say, I'm gay, but not in a gay way. Not in a gay way. You say you're gay all the time. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was, not so good. Not so good. Where are you going? You're going to bring back some food. Would you bring back an ice cream? Would you? Okay. I shouldn't do that, but he's going to bring me back an ice cream. I'm just basically wanted to give me £2.20 to contribute to this thing. I don't think Chesney Hawks made more than one song. How could you have a tour? Okay, we're moving on. People, what's happened here? Have people stopped? I'm not gay, but I do have a gay taste, I think. I'm not into sports, but I like clothes and wine and some cheesy music. The truth is, gay British people, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it, Claire. It's only 200 calories. I haven't had anything else today. I haven't had anything else that had carbs in it. Gayness without the gay. No. People, this country is famous for having ugly gay guys. Let's be honest. How the kind of woman willing to wait is not the kind that you want to find waiting. Who said this? What is that from, Lucy? How the kind of woman willing to wait is not the kind you want to find waiting. I mean, that's funny. That's funny. I think it is. It doesn't sound that funny. It sounds smart. You have the ice cream like people have cups of tea. How could you say no to these ice cream sandwiches? Okay, Lewis, 200 calories is actually quite low. And I keep track. And I'm down to, I didn't tell everybody, but I'm down to 78.1 kilograms. And I thought I pigged out yesterday. Because I went out with Paul, and I had a thing of, I thought I was going to be over, but I actually lost 200 grams yesterday. Sometimes I forget whether I'm talking to Lewis or Grok. I'm not sure Grok knows what he's talking about. That's weird, is that I'm not. I'm not what? Lewis, you need to go to Cornwall and have a proper Cornish ice cream. The nicest and the tastiest I've ever had to this day. I don't know if that's true. I've been to Cornwall and I didn't like Cornish ice cream. It tasted like tasteless. It was good. But it isn't like American ice cream, which has so much flavor. It's part of the lyrics of Finishing the Hat. And he wrote the lyrics. He was brilliant. And he was a Jew. And he was gay. Jew and gay. Not like me. Maybe like me. Possibly like me. But Cornish ice cream is delicious. Thank you, Lucy, for the information. That's great, Lewis. You look hot still. Well, I think I'm going to just gradually go down. I'm not going to sit there and kill myself trying to get down to 76 kilograms. All right, so now in the next part of this show, I'm not gay. I'm just in touch with your backside. Okay, I laughed at that, so that must make it funny. I laughed at that, Lucy, but I also laughed. Because Lucy said it, but it was funny. The U.S. do have better standards around ice cream. It's about the only thing food-wise. Yeah, well, is because it's, American ice cream. I came to this country. I can't remember coming to when I was 18 years old and having ice cream in Italy. And it wasn't that good. And it was small and it wasn't that fat. And in America, we had Haagen-Dazs and, we had very high fatty ice cream. And that's what makes ice cream taste great. High sugar, high fat. They made it high fat, Lewis. You know what you're talking about. I do know that. I'm failing the Cornish ice cream. Go for McDonald's and McFlurry. I'm not saying that that's good either. A McDonald's ice cream. I wouldn't even call that an ice cream. But a Haagen-Dazs, they invented this kind of ice cream. They invented it. They measured how much fat they were putting into it. Gay guys come from all sorts of backgrounds now. They do. This is what Ruben says. And there are all sorts of people. I have a gay friend who is in ex-special forces. That's exactly true. Bare knuckle boxer is currently an unarmed combat instructor for the police. That's exactly true. Because women are dangerous now. And the state how can you get into a relationship with a woman when the state can't protect you? And women are dangerous and the state won't protect you. That doesn't mean you shouldn't, but I can see how and now I know Lucy's going to start screaming at me. He's going to start screaming at me, but this is the truth. So people think to themselves, and also with divorce, divorce causes homosexuality. It does. It does. It's all these women who don't have a man around who are looking for some kind of boyfriend substitute. I don't care if you hate me because of this. I'm demonetized as it is. I'm demoralized as it is. I'm demonized as it is. I always exercise caution with a woman who is capable of physically throwing me out of bed. Yeah, you got to be careful. Do you think men decide to be gay, Lewis? Not really, no, but I think the mothers do. The mothers basically create this. Look at my son there. Look at this. You can't even see what he looks like. It's painful, and I love this. I love him. I love him so much. Does he know that I love you so much? Do you know that?
You mention your children too much.
Why? That's all I have in this life. That's what makes me a winner. What makes me a winner over my friends who have one or no kids? Is I've got you.
More kids is more points.
Yes, and I didn't even do it intentionally. It was your mother doing. I'm not even sure you're my child. I'm not even sure. Would you do a DNA test for me?
No.
Why not?
Just in case.
Just in case you find out that you are my kid. Did you hear that? He doesn't want to do a DNA test because he's afraid I might be his father. He prefers to dream and think that his real father is going to come. Lord Eddie. I can't mention that. We can't mention that. Poor producer says Joodles. Please, no freak off party. What were we saying? I'm saying we're talking about. Are we continuing? I'm obsessed with the homo. My entire act as a comedian was before I was obsessed with carbs. I was obsessed with homosexuality. I was obsessed with it. I mean, the reason why I'm not gay, and I've discussed this before. Claire says, you are wonderful, thank you. And let's see what Marianne says. You may be demonetized, but you are still delightful. That actually is very funny. I'm going to write that down. Mary Ann McCara, still delightful. Delightful. Yes. Okay. But the point is, what was the point I'm making? I don't even know if you guys find this very interesting. Lewis can take a joke. I don't know. Can I? Yeah. I'm prepared for a joke. I'm prepared because I'm prepared for people to find out the truth about me. That's what I'm prepared for. That's why I tell people I'm gay. So if they find out that I might be gay, or if I'm accused of being gay, I mean, it's not a problem to me. Okay? If they say, wait a second, Lewis, you're hitting on all the girls in the chat here. You are a sleazy guy. You're hitting on the girls. And I go, yeah, of course I am. And is there anything wrong with that? We all should be that way. What are you guys preparing for? What are you telling people? You got to tell people. I missed it, Stephen. Did he do a misogyny? Yes. I did. You would say I did a misogyny. I think you're talking about me, Lucy. Yes. Yeah. I think, yeah. I don't remember what I said, but it was about how dangerous women are and how the state doesn't support you and how men like me, okay, we love women. We just love you guys. So willing to just go in there and be married to you and love you. And what happens? We get kicked out of our own homes. I would pay money for the list of notes you take, Lewis. Christ only knows if you could ever figure out them a week later. Yeah, probably not. I'm not going to look at them anyway. I've got sheets. This is just half of the sheets that I have. I've got a sheet for every show. We're on the 28th of September, and this is show 101. Hey, girls, I'm not really single, but I try. You try to be single. Is that what you're saying, Stephen? Where are you from again? Where are you from? Are you fat? Yeah, I said something that I know Lucy would not be happy with, but I say a lot of things that Lucy would not be happy that I said. Lewis, you are fruit. And so Lucy writes back to Lud, yeah, Fruit Loop. Yeah, I'm a bit crazy. What is a Fruit Loop? I know what a Fruit Loop is in America. You know, they've been around forever. They were my favorite, one of my favorites of the dry cereals. Guys are sleazy. Do women not know this yet? Well, we're called sleazy because we're called sleazy by women, but this is what we want. We want to be with girls. And that's not, I don't think that's sleazy. Maybe it is sleazy. It's a bit sleazy. Yeah. Are you from Scotland? Okay, Stephen from Scotland. Why don't you change your thing there so it says Stephen from Scotland and we can think of Scotland? Remember, my children are half Scottish. Their mother is Scottish. And I've spent a year of my life or more in Scotland during the Edinburgh festivals for years and years. They were good times. They were depressing times. They were good times. Yes, Alan, but there is sleazy, says Carrie Macker, and there is sleazy. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Yeah, men are sleazy. Men are sleazy, says Joodles knows. You got to be prepared for it. Don't get mad at the guy for being. That doesn't mean we can't love you. Well, you know, we do love you. I love women, and I love guys too. Not really guys. I don't have any issues. My problem is I don't have any issues with guys. I got issues with women. But that doesn't mean you can't find a guy. Lewis, you need a PA to type up all the notes up and file them. I do, yeah. Well, maybe that's going to happen. These are all dress rehearsals, Marianne McCara Fitzpatrick. It's a dress rehearsal for something amazing happening in the future. These shows, you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, do you remember Lewis Schaffer's shows? Do you remember that? Oh, you were that guy. Oh, that's amazing. Or maybe you'll all get to know each other. I prefer female company, says Lud, to male company. So that's another sign for me. But I do love the ladies. They are the best. Yeah, women can be the best. They can be the best when they're loving. When they're loving, would your life be easier if you were gay? Yeah, of course it would be easier. Of course it would be easier if I'd be gay. I mean, yeah, men are easier to hang out with. They don't take your stuff. They're not as picky about you going out and having a good time. You don't have to offer they're going out and they're doing some guy, whatever, while you're doing your guy. Paul Manning is here. What do you think? Do you think my life would be easier if I were gay? You tell him, Stephen. I know you're Scottish. Ruben, this is the 8th time I've told you. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. I don't have a memory. Respect back at you, dude. Okay, that's good. Stephen and Ruben are friending each other. That's really, really nice to know. Before we go further in this thing, can we we got 32 people watching. We're doing good. can we go and like this thing? Can we like? Let me see how many people have liked this. Liking is thumbs up. Go and thumb the thing up. 21 people. Let's try to hit 30 people. Let's make sure every single but thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. And can we subscribe if you haven't subscribed? Can we also? I mean, Kermit is driving, so he can't post this thing. But I think this is one of those things. There we go. Okay, and then we've got Kofi. But buy Lewis Schaffer a coffee. What is it called? It's coffee. Buy Lewis Schaffer a coffee. Buy Lewis Schaffer a coffee. This is the thing for coffee. Buy Lewis Schaffer a coffee. How about that? Don't make me beg. It's so unseemly. There we go. Thank you, Hi-Ho. Thank you. I didn't realize you're back. Okay. Follow Kermit. Follow Kermit. I'm going to write this again just to drive it home. Buy me a coffee. It costs £5, £10. Whatever you want to do. It's not going to kill you. It might kill you. It might kill you. Why am I asking for money? I'm one of the richest comedians around. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows how rich and successful I am, and I will tell any woman who wants to know if it'll help me get a girl. Get a girl. Yeah, it's amazing what men will do to get it, Alan. Get what, Alan? Get what? Get what? Get girls? Yeah. Yeah, what did Alan say? What did Alan write up there? I don't know. I missed it there. I missed it. Oh, I'm still in top chat. I don't know who we have. Anyway, thank you very much. Get the birds. I'm trying to get the birds. I want to get the birds. I'd like to get the birds. I mean, just even the idea. You don't even have to. You can say, listen, I'm married, but I would do you, Lewis. That's enough. Stay married. Can you Can you two stop spamming the chat? Who is spamming the chat? You can donate any amounts you guys like, even £1. Yeah. Lewis sex. Laugh out loud. Yeah. I mean, you reach a certain age, it's not as important as it used to be. It's not as important, but it is nice to. I know getting a hug is very important, especially towards the women as you get older. You want a hug. Sometimes you don't want as much sex. A lot of people don't want as much sex from their husbands or their boyfriends. Okay? Okay, thank you. You didn't like why? Why didn't you like my flirtation with gayness? What's more important to you right now than sex, Lewis? I'm not. I mean, no. I don't know. That's a good question, Joodles. I don't know how important it is. I mean, important as important things go. I mean, it's only because I'm now physically fit, to use a euphemism, where a couple of years ago I wasn't. I was so unhealthy. I wasn't. Ice cream could be more important. Yeah, ice cream could be more important. Kermit just stole the crown. There you go, Alan Williams, the crown from Joodles. How ungentlemanly. Yeah, because he put all that stuff in there. I'm married, but I do you, Lou. But only. Yeah, it was pretty funny talking to my son about the DNA. I've thought about it. Every father thinks about the DNA tests with their children. There's the old African saying, mother's baby, daddy's maybe. You don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying she did that, but you don't know. You don't know. So it's very important to a guy that, I mean, it's nice to have a kid around who thinks he's your dad, whether I am or I'm not, but it's be nice to. I'm married. So Paul Manning says, match, I would do you, Lou, but only masculinely. What is that word, Paul? Do you know what that means? I don't want it, Alan. That's top. I don't want it. That's top of the to-do list. To-do-you list. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And you know what's happened to me? So ever since I went on the all-meat diet, and I know we got a couple of older people here who might have a couple of problems down there, or women who call themselves whatever they call themselves, okay? Lewis is a pansexual. He does it in the toilet, Lucy. Another joke. Good joke from Lucy. I haven't we all? I saw a debate on Twitter today. Don't shoot the messenger. If men have to be conscripted to go to the war and die, should women be conscripted to get pregnant and replace the population? Daz, that's a good question. I have my opinion, but I want to hear what your opinion is. Should women be forced to get pregnant and have kids? I'm scared of flyers that advertise labor, says Kermit. Laugh out loud. Lucy, go way hey, Lucy, says Dee Dee Plectrum. His balls are in the water when he sits on the toilet. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm okay there. I'm okay. I wore tight underwear for a long time, so that's all right. It's an interesting question. Should women? Maybe nobody wants to discuss this issue. You know, we need kids, and if we don't have kids, and that's what happened in Rome. Maybe people have too much money, and they want to maintain their standard of living, and the women want to be happy, and they're told to work. Why do women have to repopulate the country? Because men decide they'd like to kill each other. Because the truth is, men have to kill other people to protect the women in the country, Judel. So it's not just men. That's a horrific idea, Lewis. Okay, tell us why, MC Scott. Marianne McCara comes in and says, hugs are the best. I give my son hugs before they leave the house. With my husband, a hug could and did lead to a baby. Laugh out loud. Well, what's wrong with a baby? I wish I had more kids, and I'd get rid of these ones and I'd bring the new ones in. Sorry for the double post. It was blank on my end. Protect the women from what? From foreign invaders who are coming in, who are going to put you in masks and take away your dogs and prevent you from drinking and whoring and messing around, possibly, Judels. Yes, not you personally. I don't mean you. I mean women. Yeah, women. It's like I saw the YouTube video where they said, what'll happen during the end of the world? Because we're thinking about the end of the world. What's going to happen with the end of the world? And the women said, I'm going to commit, unaliving of myself. And the men said, I'm going to go get a gun. Whatever. Maybe I shouldn't say a boomstick. I'm going to get a boomstick. That's what, so women thinking, if it's the end of the world, I'm no reason for living. I didn't even make that up. Protect the women from other men. Yes, Taz. Should women be forced to get pregnant? No, Alan Williams, no. They should do it on their own, but they're not interested. They think they're happier without it. By foreign invaders, do you mean men, Lewis? No, because the women are coming along with the men. And these are men who maybe don't have a wife, so they're going to make you their wife. But you might like it. You might go, I like a strong hair, man like that. But I like messing around, says Ludd. I ain't touching them, I swear. Sounds like U.S. soldiers during World War II to me. Yeah. No, U.S. soldiers were pretty good, yeah. But they came into England. At least they weren't Nazis. Let nature do nature, says Stephen from Scotland. They won't use you and women to grow babies. They will have Bill Gates' baby factory, similar in notion to the NAZI breeding program. Interesting, Vatnai. That's an interesting point. I mean, whatever Bill Gates thinks of, you know it's evil. Here are some vomity tasting chocolate and some cheap stockings, says Kermit. Yeah, that'll do it. And also, Americans were taller and handsomer, and they were richer, and they had chocolate. Lewis, remember I made the butter and inspired you to make the butter live on the show. Yes. And I ate some of the butter today. I had it with some steak. I have butter, unmelted butter with steak. That's what I eat to raise the fat. I didn't have very much of it, but I did have it, and it's delicious. I added a little bit of salt to it. Well, this evening I'm making homemade phyllo pastry. Hint, hint. No, I'm not going to make phyllo pastry. It's carbs, and it's not even my favorite pastry, phyllo pastry. I mean, unfortunately, some of that stuff can be tasty, but Greek and that kind of... I don't like that. I don't like that at all. When I saw my college buddy hug his mom, I thought it was abnormal. We weren't a cuddly family. D.D. Plectrum. I'm with you. We didn't cuddle each other. I never saw my mother cuddle up my father. My father didn't want to be cuddled by her. He was mad at her by the time that happened, and she was starved for affection, which is why I'm almost gay. You reminded me of Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now tonight, Lewis. In your khaki. In my khaki, is that what you mean? Yeah. I got 2 shirts exactly like this. Steak with butter, better to have been a ribeye, Lewis Schaffer. Yeah, ribeye is super expensive. The steak that I buy is about $2 for half a pound, versus a ribeye, which is, I don't know how ribeye could be, 5-6 pounds a pound. I would say so. Babies are lovely. If I could do it all over again, if we could afford it, I'd have 6. Yeah. Theresa May took us to Syria. Maybe we can conscript her to get pregnant. Yeah. We need kids. I'm not saying you can't be happy without kids. Tell my mom and dad that I love them every time I say goodbye. Yeah, I never did. I never did that. I was horrible. I never did that. I try to do that now. I try to say I love you more and more. I fear that ship has sailed, Daz. Yeah. Yeah. He's speaking about the Theresa May comment. I mean, yeah, but that is something. They've convinced us not to have... You know what I was thinking today? What if, listen to what I'm saying, what if that this whole business of mass importation of people into this country, this invasion, this you don't have to use these words, but I will, this replacement theory has to do because Easy Eats, what is the thing called? Deliveroo have been paid. I'm not saying they have. It's just a thought. It's a hypothesis. Someone's been paying off the political parties because they need new workers to drive around those bicycles. And no sane person who is living in this country wants to do something like that. How about that? What if it's a great big conspiracy where the Labour government and the Tories have been paid money to get Deliveroo drivers, and what's the other Eats thing? Just Eats drivers. What do you think about that? The older you get, the weaker you go. Makes you want to fight back harder. Parents of Bill Gates were leading members of the Planned Parenthood Society, a thin disguise for eugenics. It was very popular in the States. Yes, it was, founded by a Jewish lady. Okay, so there you go. So Jews are into everything. But that's true. They don't want us to have kids. I had my first kid, I was 43 years old. It was the first time I had sex, I was 43. Maybe I was 44. 42. Anyone making pastry is wasting their lives, says Alan Williams. Unlike me, who you're clearly making the most of it. You're making the most of it with a funny face. I'd absolutely agree with that. All we ever need to do with any policy is follow the money. Yes, follow the money. Follow the money. Yes, that's a good point. Lewis is right. Big Kebab is clearly behind all of this. Could be. Could be. They're the only ones fighting. The rest of the population, we're not even fighting. And then we go on some march and they accuse us of fighting. I didn't see any fighting. Interesting angle, that, Lewis. I have to say, there is a stream or two out there on YouTube where I enjoy watching. The drivers are the ones I see. They seem cool. Speak totally natively. Is that what you mean? Let's get our punctuation right. What if they delivered Oreo ice cream? Well, they do. I could have that delivered, but the thing that stops me is knowing it's 45 minutes. I asked my son to provide this, and that's wrong. I should not have asked him to get this for me. There are plenty of makeable products out there that when one counts the pennies and quality, it's better to buy pre-made. Yeah. Gefilte fish. I made gefilte fish. It cost me a fortune. I could have just bought it at the shop. How the hell is now policy the 3 or 4 year old children are being taught there are 200 genders? Money. Also, they don't want these kids to have kids. They don't want the kids to have kids, Joodles. I like you, Joodles. Saves time and actually saves money and proves more convenient to boot. First time with a woman. I'm making a joke. Lucy. I'm making a joke. Maybe I'm not. Why do you enjoy? No. Okay, so we're doing a good job here. We've got 33. We've kept our audience. That's what counts. More than 5 ingredients in food, then it's poison. Probably that's true. But what happens if you have one ingredient, like a baked potato? That's poison too. What about rice? That's poison too. What about a salad? That's poison too. What about anything with seed oil in it? Just 2 items. Chips are poison. Stephen likes Joodles. You are always spot on. Well, Scottish people like the Northern Irish people. They get along really, really well. They get along super, super well. Super well. I'm going to go into the other room and get a glass of water. Can you wait? Keep on talking if you want to keep on talking. I'm not telling you what to do. Keep on talking, Alan. Immigration, unfortunately, stifles innovation. Back to my car wash analogy. Yeah, well, they want this country to die because they hate the English. What did I say? No, it's not. No, it's not. Put some punctuation, Rube, in it. Okay. All right. 33. Yeah, there's 33 people watching. 5 ingredients and in a packet. How about only meat? That's all you need to do. I had my last child at 42. My doctor notes it said it was geriatric. I think above 35 is geriatric. Anyway, so rude. I was 41. I didn't dare say that. They didn't dare say that because a geriatric is anybody over 35. Anyway, we're not butter. A waste of time and ruins the keyboard. Okay, very good. There we go. Lucy Lewis. Margaret Thanger wasn't Jewish. Her parents were Irish immigrants. Okay, well, there you go. That's really funny. Well, what part of Ireland were they from? Let's go. I'm going to have to look this up myself. I don't believe that. Was Margaret Sanger Jewish? Oh, there you go. That is really interesting. So everybody, a big round of applause for Lucy. This is what I like about Lucy. One of the things, she does the research. The rest of you people just sit there and say, well, I'm not going to do the research. I'm just listening to, why do I have to work to listen to Lewis Schaffer's show? Why do I have to work? I'm not going to work. I'm on holiday. But yeah, Margaret Sanger, who was founding Planned Parenthood, who become totally evil into basically wholesaling abortions. Horrible. I'm against that. Am I allowed to use that? Am I allowed to use the word baby deletions, whatever you call them? Baby deletions. She was Irish. But what kind of Irish was she? I didn't even check to see what kind of Irish. Because there's lots of, I know you're all Irish, but there's a difference between Protestant Irish and Catholic Irish, Northern Irish and Southern Irish. Margaret Sanger, religion. Okay. The parents were Irish Catholics who emigrated from Ireland. Her father immigrated to Canada, then moved to the USA at 14 and joined the Union Army in the Civil War as a drummer. Upon leaving the Army, this is very interesting. Okay, can I apologize? I was wrong. I'm not perfect. You have every single right to check what I'm doing. This is a comedy satire program. Everything I say, you're going to double check. But thank you very much, Lucy, for that. Okay. Everything you should check. In life, you should check. You don't believe anything that anybody says. Every time you have a baby deletion, you double your chances of getting breast cancer. Interesting. Obviously, don't say it if it makes you uncomfortable. That could be an association, is that people who have breast cancer have baby deletions, but they're also doing something that causes a baby deletion. How about that? That they're the kind of people who are out there working so that they can't have a baby in their mind. Or maybe they're women who don't love strongly, and maybe that causes. So we don't know what it means. We don't know what that means. But that's very interesting. Lewis, it's a fortune to make fruitcake for Christmas. Eggs, butter, dried fruit, spices, flour, molasses, and sugar. I'm a Jew. I never ate fruitcake, and I never liked fruitcake. I never liked the color of those cherries, the red cherries. They just seem so unnatural. Obviously, you don't say it. You don't say if it makes you uncomfortable. But what does everybody think of Owen Jones? I don't want to be unfair or judgmental or uncharitable, but he seems like a very mixed up, angry chap. I don't know. I watched him the other day and I thought to myself, do I like this guy? I don't. I haven't seen enough of him. What do we think about Owen Jones? Okay. She founded Planned Parenthood with her sister, another woman, Vanya Mindell, who was Jewish. Well, because it was founded in Brooklyn or wherever it was founded, and there were lots of Jews living there. And Jews found things. It's similar to Americans and nonprofit organizations in this country. Like the groups that I've been involved in, there's always a million Americans. They're always doing stuff. British people are not doing stuff. I've seen anti-Semites on Twitter claim that Sanger was Jewish for obvious reasons. Yes, Lucy. So I appreciate that. But you know what? Planned Parenthood might be a good idea. It might be a good idea if you want to have. And this is where I said something during the other part of the show that made people not like me. And I thought that you, if you heard this, Lucy, you wouldn't like me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here comes the ice cream. The ice cream is coming in. The ice cream is coming in. Paul Manning, this is what Ruben says. I remember when Owen Jones first came on the radar, to be honest. He came across very well. Then charming almost. Now angry, raving, loony left. Yeah, well, I can't eat it. I can't eat it now. Could you put it in the freezer? Don't put it in the... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look what we had. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to open it.
Are you going to have it now?
No, could you put it in the freezer? I mean, it's so good. Anybody have this thing? It's so good. It's in a big wrapper, so it looks like it's really big. It's really quite expensive, is it not? It not. It is really expensive. Come on, Joodles. Don't hold back. Let's hear it. What is Joodles saying? If we are not being uncharitable, best keep my mouth shut, Ray Owen Jones. Okay, well, we'll have to say. So we're not Owen Jones fans. He's become almost brainwashed and intolerable these days. I don't keep up to date with his Baloo, but whenever I do catch bits and pieces of his output, he seems demented. This is what Paul Manning says. Well, the left always seem demented. Thank you very much, with the most pained look on your face, because I'd like to eat it right now. I'd like to eat it right now. But I know if I eat it right now, it's going to raise my blood sugar levels, which is going to put me into a depression, and the last 10 minutes of the show is going to be horrible. So I don't want to do that. I want these shows to be amazing, to be as good as they can be. And in the hope that something good will come out of it. Yeah, Joodles. I was pained. I want to eat it right now. Lucy's laughing at Joodles. The two of them, these Irish women. Okay. The Space Cadet, classic case of never being told as a kid. That's Owen Jones. Yeah, like me told what? Told to shut up or something? Daryl M., who was a woman, who was a beautiful, beautiful woman. Homemade Christmas cake is better than shop bought. A lot better. We never had Christmas cake. We never had Christmas, really, because we didn't deserve any, because we killed Jesus. Fair shout, that, Daryl. Makes it special, too. Christmas cake, yeah. Christmas is coming up. Maybe I'll have a happy Christmas this year. Maybe I'll spend it with one of my many, 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 many new friends. Lewis. Jedster asked, Lewis, have you thought about asking for a sponsorship deal with Oreo? I mean, maybe. I thought I should be sponsored. My tour should be, when I went on tour of all my comedy shows, that I should be sponsored by Megabus. I thought that would be funny. Sponsored by Megabus, going to these places. I didn't even have a car or a driver. I had a Megabus. But that's funny, Jedster. I appreciate that joke. I think he had his head turned by Gravy Train of Westminster, eyeing up to join the pigs in the trough, says Reuben. Lucy, why can't you get a royal iced Christmas cake in the shops anymore? Is that the one with the white icing that looks horrible? Where it almost looks like is it a chocolate cake? What makes it so dark, a Christmas cake? Marianne McCara says, Lud, I prefer homemade, but I will buy rather than make a plum pudding and the wee mince pies. Well, I like mince pies. I never ate a mince pie until I moved to this country. I didn't even know what a mince pie was. Remember where I grew up. We grew up very segregated. It wasn't a Christian town, my town. It wasn't a Christian town, Lud. So that's what Marianne McCara says. Raw egg white, Lucy? I should do something with Edwina Curry. Is it Edwina or Edwina? Oh, is it Edwina? Balo is a different way of saying bollocks, but it's pronounced balo as in hollow. I think, okay, I pronounced it that way, but spelled balo as in ghetto. One of my musical heroes, comma, the late, great Ian Dury. It's not Drury, used to say, hit me with that rhythm stick. Hit me. Two fat horses, click, click, click. Hit me. Ooh, who loves Ian Drury? I love that guy. Mom starts the Christmas cake in September. Yeah, it can last all year round. You know what's good for Christmas? Those Italian cakes, whatever those are called. You know, those fluffy Italian cakes with the raisins or whatever. Those things are good. Edwina Curry. Curry spelled with it. Yeah, curry. Did you think a mince pie had meat in it? No, I didn't think that, Daz, because we don't have mince in America. We didn't have any mince, anything that's mince. I'm not sure. Maybe Mary Ann McCracken can tell us what was mince. I'm almost going to go in the other room and get the thing. Mince pies aren't really a thing in the U.S. Not even the meat kind. Yeah, they're not a thing. We have big, thick pies with big, thick apples just poured in there. Just fantastic. I love an apple pie. My grandmother used to make apple pies. You guys have been great today. This is great. Panettone, Paul Manning. I love that. Ian Dury. Yeah, Dury is great. Hit me with the rhythm stick. Hit me. Woo! She adds rum to it every 2 weeks. Stolen is something else I never ate. I never ate it until I went to Lidl, and I discovered in Lidl. And now I can't eat it because it's like just butter and stuff. It's like so high in calorie. It's like so. Mince is called ground beef in the U.S., yes. Panettone. Well, yeah, panettone. Yeah, why the question mark, Lucy? The pub chain, Green King. I was in a Green King last night. I banned the group, New Culture Forum, from meeting in their pubs. It is a very gentle, right-of-center organization. They make excellent YouTube videos. You would like them. Okay, look what I'm going to do, Vatnai. I'm going to write down this group. The group, it's called New Culture Forum. New Culture Forum, banned from Green. What is it called? Green King Pub, says Vantanai. There you go. We're going to look about that. Thank you very much. It's become educational, this portion of the show. Thank you for telling us about Margaret Sanger. You know what I mean? I used to think Bruce Springsteen was Jewish, too. That's the way the Jews are. That's the way everybody is. Oh, he's Irish. Ian Drury. I knew there was an R in there. I love Ian Drury, not Ian Dury. Ian Drury, says Ludd. Thank you very much. We want Freddie for our leader. I love Ian Drury. Let's see. Daryl adds brandy to it every day. Why do you have to add every day? Can't you just add a mass of it in there? Or does it kill what's going on? I thought mince came from America. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Oh, you're making a joke. Mince meaning some kind of, Ruben saying there's some kind of gay thing. And there you go. MC Scott is laughing. I don't know what you're laughing at, but thank you. Good shout, Vantanai. Okay, so it's not American. It is not American. They don't even know what mincing is, even though they do it. Yeah, that's true, mincing. We don't know what that is. People thought that I was mincing around, and I wasn't. I'm like manly in this town. Do I seem manly to you? I become my voice has become deeper. I'm going to become deeper. And I could my voice has become deeper. I used to sound, also the speech therapy, too. I went to speech therapy, but I sound a bit more manly. They have excellent guests talking about all the stuff we discuss. Okay, so I'll look for that, Fontenay. Thank you. You have exceptionally good taste, Marianne Macara. It is yummy. Yeah. Lewis, why did you drop your voice? I dropped my voice because why should I sound like I'm mincing around? I want to be more attractive to people. I don't know, maybe I could figure out how to talk better. Maybe because I don't talk like this, my voice hasn't been damaged and I won't get throat cancer or something. Maybe that's what it is. This is the thing with changing countries. You can get away with the campiness that your own country folk thought you were. Yes, that's true. Nobody thought that I was gay in this country. I used to go on stage in America. You're gay, you're gay. And that became my act. I'm not gay in a baritone. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Lud says, hell yeah, you're a manly. Can you remember what you are? Y-O-U-R. Every time we see the word your, Y-O-U-R, stop and say to yourself, is it Y-O-U-R or is it Y-O-U apostrophe R-E? Just like, think red flag, your. Every time you see the word there, think, is it they are or is it there, meaning a group of people? Joe says very sexy. Joe, hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. Wow, you're beautiful. Joe, you're so beautiful today. You're so beautiful today. I love the color of your eyes. Joe. The best apples for an apple pie are Granny Smith apples, the ones with green skins, very tart, so the sugar you add balances the taste. Do you mean Granny Smith, or just do you mean green baking apples, which that's what they're called here in Britain. They're just called baking apples. Granny Smith apples are tart apples, but I don't think people bake with Granny Smith apples. Who knows about this? Do you know about this, Baking Smith? Are you still considered gay if you only do straight men? A bit of a misnomer there. It's like being Jewish. It's like being Jewish, Joodles. I tried explaining what this is to Joodles the other day, but it's like being Jewish. If you're doing something, I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You almost produced a remix of Ian Drury and the Blockheads Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick I almost produced a remix of Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick back in 2002. But in the end, the record company couldn't be arsed to get the master tape out of storage. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. You're a somebody. That's good. That's good news. That's good news. Marianne Macara Fitzpatrick. Here in the States, you can generally order by mail plum pudding, mince pies, etc. Also Christmas crackers. Well, I assume you can do that here. You can order that anywhere. Could you do me a favor? What are the ingredients in plum pudding? What does plum pudding taste like? I don't think I've ever had a plum pudding. Though it sounds like something that would be great with vanilla ice cream. Have we subscribed? Have we joined Discord? Have we liked? Yes. Can we go check? Let me go check. Thank you very much, Ruben. Let me check and see how we're doing here. How we're doing here. We've got 26 followers. Not 26. We got 26 likes. How many? We've got 1.08 subscribers. Can we go into Discord? Can you buy me a drink? I shouldn't have to ask for it, but it would be nice. I'm not going to ask for it anymore. It would be nice, number one. Number two, this PayPal.me, Lewis Schaffer. That's something. Yeah, let's go there. Or let's go to Patreon. I mean, I'm demonetized. I'm demoralized. I'm demoralized. I'm demonetized. I am. What is this? I forgot what the things are. What's going on with pumpkin pie in the U.S.? Do they not have regular dessert there? Let me just say this, Lud. Pumpkin pie is one of my favorite desserts, is pumpkin pie. and Demonized. Thank you. I'm going to have to write it down. How come I don't even remember this? But Jedster comes in. Demonized was your third, Lewis. Okay, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Chinese Elvis, shout out for karaoke night. Is Chinese Elvis here? I missed him. Is he here? Here's the point. I'm demonized. I'm demonetized. I am... What was the third? I can't even remember what it is. Oh, my God. I'm demonized. Demonized. Demonetized. And demoralized. And who said, Marianne, I think she said, I'm delicious. Delicious. Those are the three things. I think those things are brilliant. I'm writing them down. I'll never look at it again. A pumpkin pie, sweet or savory. It's actually both of those things. It's sweet. It's sweet. It's got a lot of sugar in it. But it also has nutmeg in it, I assume. I've never made it, but I've taken the can out. It's really brilliant. The only time I made an apple tart, I forgot to put the sugar in. You want to know something? You don't need to put that much sugar in. You know who makes pies? I forgot that I wrote that I mentioned it, that I ate it, is Chinese Elvis. He makes these delicious pies with walnuts and what are the ingredients in the... No, I'm not going to ask him what it is. But a pumpkin pie is great. And how did it taste, Lucy? Did it taste okay? It was delightful. Can I say delicious too? Delicious and delightful. Remember that song by Delight? Delight, delightful. Yeah, da-da-da, buy another. Remember that song? The point telling him, Kermit, no point. He'll never look at the list again. But I've written it down. And I appreciate you coming to my aid, Jedster. I do appreciate it. You've been one of the longest supporters of the Uncooked podcast. Ed Davey is a classic gravy train politician. If you look it up in the dictionary, his face comes up. What is it? What is a gravy train politician? What does that mean? I'm going to have to look that up. Gravy train. I know what it means. Situation where someone can make a lot of money for very little effort. Yes. Yeah. He's like, yeah. I mean, who else? Yeah. I mean, who else? Garen Noon already stole delicious. Okay, so I shouldn't use that. Who was Garen Noon? I don't even know. Grooves in the Heart, says Joe. Yes, you remember that. Great album. Yeah, Grooves in the Heart. I think most people use canned pumpkin. They do, or they can make it themselves, you know. Remember, in America, there's lots of pumpkins growing everywhere. Everybody has pumpkins. There's big fields of pumpkins. The pumpkins sit there and rot. Nobody eats the pumpkins. They take the seeds. They make the pumpkin seeds. They don't do anything. Plum pudding is delicious, very rich. It is steamed. My mother used to pour bird's custard over it. Can you please tell me, Marianne, what plum pudding is? The trouble with pumpkin pies, quite often, says Paul Manning, you have to use smaller, more flavorsome varieties. I mean, the pumpkin is a fruit. It's a gourd. I don't know what the difference between a fruit and a gourd is, or maybe a gourd can be a fruit. Is Ed Davey not Cockney rhyming slang for gravy? Ed Davey for gravy. Oh, I see what it is. I did not get that. I didn't get that, says Donna Ellsby. That's funny. Is Ed Davey a sack of who did nothing to help the victims of the post office scandal? I don't know. I don't know about this. Watch Groove is in the Heart video and try to copy her dancing. It's quite the workout. Yeah, I remember that. I remember I was still young when that song came out. Let's see. What is it called? Delight? Is that what the band was called? Groove is in the Heart by Delight. That's the name of the song. And when did that song come out? I'm afraid to listen to it. 1990. So that is when I was still young. I was 33. Oh my God, that's so scary. Wait, that's 35 years ago. I was 33. Oh my God, my life is flying away from me. That is so sad. That is so sad. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for reminding that. I remember the video too. It was amazing. It was an amazing video at the time. We have copied the whole pumpkin picking thing here in the UK, but they just dump a load of pumpkins in the field that you can choose. They don't grow that. They don't grow there. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they don't grow them in America either. Oh my God, Ruben, says Judels. What did he say? Plum pudding is when you tip custard over your... That's funny. That's funny. I'm not going to read it aloud. You want to go to the stream, you can read it out loud. Davey lives very well off on the taxpayer without ever having taken any responsibility. It's a win-win for him. Yeah, well, we're going to have two of those parties. We're going to have that party, and we're going to have the Labor Party. They're going to be like the Lib Dem Party. Am I right?
Who?
The Labor Party.
We already have the Lib Dems.
I know, but we're going to have the Labor Party is going to be like the Lib Dems. They're going to say, we're not.
The Conservatives are like the Lib Dems.
Yes, well, remember the joke that I made on the TV? That's what I said.
I don't keep up.
I said the Tory Party, or as we call it, the new Lib Dems.
When did he say this?
I said this on the TV like 2 years ago when they lost, even before they lost the election.
I'm sure it was funnier in person.
No, but it's what you said. We have the Tory Party, so I'm just saying that. The groove's in the heart. Thank you, Alan Williams. Have you ever had a gravy ring? I'm not even going to look that up. Can we not be as dirty as I think you're being? I'm going to have to look that up. Have you ever heard of what that is?
No.
I'm not even going to say it. This is Lucy. For hot cooking oil used to deep fry the donut. The term likely comes from the process of cooking donuts in a pan of hot oil with the resulting deep fried sugar-coated ring being known as a gravy ring. Okay, my apologies. My apologies, but maybe it is dirty. It's dirty. No, it's not dirty. Okay, I apologize. I apologize, Lucy. I apologize, Lucy. It's a donut. It's like a donut, which is delicious. I can't eat donuts anymore. Because I don't want to eat it because they're in, maybe if they're cooked in beef fat, but even then, very bad. Donuts are really bad for you. The last donut I had was, I'm going to name drop. I was in Holland. I look forward to carving pumpkins for Halloween. We could put candles in them and set them out on the stoop in front of the house. And because people have stoops. That's so American. You've got stoops. They used to call cooking in fat gravy. Lucy is saying. I didn't know that. That's an old school thing. Keith Bexley is here. All right, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. We've got 2 hours. We're going to spend the next 5 minutes or whatever saying goodbye. If I do not mention your name, go right on the bottom. Right on the bottom. Okay? Right on the bottom. Say, what about me? So I'm going to say thank you to Paul Manning. You were brilliant on the show today. Stephen, brilliant. He's from Scotland. Lucy for joking, calling me a pansexual because I do it in the toilet. I never knew that. I guess the pan is a British word for toilet. Daz, good to see you, Daz. DD Plectrum returning. Really, really good. We've had a lot of people staying for the entire show. Kermit, Ruben, Scott, thank you. Judels, of course. Well, Daz, Alan Williams, brilliant. Vatanai, I learned something from Vatanai today. Ruben, it's all good. Marianne McCara, fantastic. We learned a lot about America from Marianne McCara. I'm quite interested in America because I used to live there. I spent quite a few of my years living there. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. That's another song. I'm back in the high life again. That's another song. Donna Aylesbury. Love her. I love her. Lucy, okay. We learned that what's her name is not Jewish. That's really something. Lud, he's my man. Lud is my man. Lud is my man. And then there's Demonized music. Perfect. Joodles coming in there. Lud, Daryl. Daryl is a woman. Daryl is a woman. It's all good. Dullahan came in. I didn't even see you there. I should have read your thing. But thank you very much, Dullahan. Dullahan, let's see what he says. Christmas pudding is Guinness. Is Guinness. I had 2 Guinnesses. I drink Guinnesses if I'm going out. It tastes like food. It tastes like food. It's very thick. It's probably not good for you. Maybe it is. Lud. How can you not love Lud? I love Lud. I love Lud. But he mentions Stalin, which is what I eat when I go to Little. When I go to Little. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so you guys have been amazing. If anybody has anything to say, you can say it now. If anybody wants to go in to the website, and go into the Discord place, how about going to the Discord place? How about going into the Discord? We've got 28 people liking this thing, which is almost, I don't think you'd expect more people liking it than actually watching it. Can you expect that? I think this has been maybe our best show. This is our best show. I would say. Does it sound like our best show?
Well done.
Well done. Good job.
You've done such a good job.
Have I done a good job? Thank you, Kermit. Everybody, follow what Kermit says, putting that up on the stream. On the stream. How about that? Let me just see what else. Put that together. Alex just joined the thing. I think people wait for the last 5 minutes. Maybe that's all you could take. I think this is good. There was no diminution in my energy levels. Was there a diminution in that? No, I thought I was brilliant. Anyway, Joodle says to you, producer, you, listen, well done.
What, because I didn't crash out or something?
You didn't get mad at me. You didn't get angry at me. You were helpful. Shush Weaver's in the house. Yeah, that's the guy that I like. Black belt barrister. This was quite sensible and a steady show. It was almost like a show. We were all talking for 2 hours. Someday something amazing is going to come out of this. You'll get together and you'll form the Lewis Schaffer Running Club, the Lewis Schaffer Social Club, the Uncooked Social Club, and you'll have gatherings and meetings, and it'll be like amazing. Thank you, Joe, for coming in. Thank you, Shush Weavers, for coming in, even though you're coming in late. I'm going to say one more thing, because I did not see this person. My youngest went to school trip to do apple picking for 20 pounds for a bag of apples that would cost 5 pounds in the supermarket. But as long as they enjoy the experience, 20 pounds to pick apples. That's amazing. That's a way to make money. That's a way to make money. Okay. I'm going to say goodbye in 2 minutes. Okay? I'm going to say goodbye in 2 minutes.